In the last video, you discovered 5 signs that your dog doesn't respect you. Maybe you recognized one. Maybe you recognized all 5. Either way, you now have a question. What do I do about it? That is exactly what this video answers. Because knowing the problem is only half of it. The other half, the part most dog training videos skip, is understanding why your dog isn't listening in the first place. And it has nothing to do with stubbornness. Nothing to do with dominance. Nothing to do with your dog trying to take over. It has to do with one thing that most owners never establish. One thing that, once in place, makes every command easier, every training session faster, every behavior problem more solvable. It is not a trick. It is not a technique. It is something that happens before the training even begins. And by the end of this video, you will know exactly how to build it. The missing piece. What comes before obedience, before we talk about commands? Before we talk about techniques, before we talk about anything else, we need to talk about what obedience actually is. Most people think obedience means dog hears command, dog follows command.
We see
But
here how the
behavioral
owner's
scientists
voice
define
acts as
it
the
differently.
primary
Dr.
social
Susan
signal,
Friedman,
activating
behavioral
specific regions
psychologist
in the
at
dog's
Utah
brain.
State University, describes obedience not as compliance, but as a relationship state. A state in which the dog finds it more reinforcing to work with you than to work independently. Read that again. More reinforcing to work with you than without you. That is not training, that is connection. And connection cannot be commanded. It has to be built. The owners who struggle most with obedience are not the ones with the most disobedient dogs. They are the ones who skipped the foundation, who went straight to commands without first answering the one question every dog is always asking: why should I listen to you? Step 01, become the most interesting thing in the room. Here is the brutal truth. Your dog lives in a world of competing stimuli: smells, sounds, movements, other animals,
Never
other
call
people.
for something it
Every
doesn't want.
single one of them is competing for your dog's attention. And right now, if your dog doesn't obey, it means something in the environment is more interesting than you are. This is not an insult. This is neuroscience. Dr. Gregory Burns, neuroscientist at Emory University and author of How Dogs Love Us, used MRI imaging to study what activates the canine reward center. The results were clear. Dogs whose owners had built high engagement showed the same neural reward response to their owner's presence as they showed to food. Their owner's attention was neurologically rewarding, not trained into them. Built through interaction. How to build IT. 5 minutes a day. That is all it takes. But 5 intentional minutes. Not passive presence, get on the floor. Not the sofa, the floor. Bring something your dog loves. A toy, a treat, your hands. And for 5 minutes, you are the most exciting thing that has ever existed. Unpredictable movements. Sudden changes of direction. Surprising sounds, enthusiastic energy. You are not training commands. You are becoming worth paying attention to. This is called engagement conditioning, and it is the single most underused tool in dog training. Step 0 to the eye contact foundation. Before your dog can obey a command, it needs to look at you. This sounds obvious. It is not practiced enough. A 2015 study published in the journal Science found that mutual eye contact between dogs and their owners triggers a release of oxytocin in both the dog and the human, the same bonding hormone released between mothers and infants. Eye contact is not just communication. It is a biological bonding event. And when you train your dog to offer eye contact voluntarily, without being asked, you are training it to check in, to look to you before making decisions. That is the foundation of every command that follows. How to build IT. Hold a treat at your eye level. Wait, the moment your dog looks from the treat to your eyes, mark it. Reward it. Celebrate it. Do not lure the eyes. Do not point. Do not make sounds. Wait for the dog to make the choice to look at your face. That choice, that voluntary turn toward you, is your dog saying, I'm checking in, what do we do next? Practice this until your dog offers eye contact without the treat at eye level. Until it looks at your face simply because that is where answers come from. Step 03. The name means look at Emmy. Your dog's name is the most powerful word in your training vocabulary, and most owners have accidentally destroyed it. Every time you called your dog's name and nothing happened, the name lost power. Every time you used the name to scold, the name became a warning. Every time you repeated it, the name became background noise. Dr. Sophia Yin, veterinary behaviorist and pioneer of low-stress handling, documented that dogs whose names had been inadvertently poisoned through misuse showed a measurably lower orienting response.
Love dogs.
Meaning they turned toward their name less reliably than dogs whose names had been carefully conditioned.
This
The fix.
positive
Your
reinforcement
dog's name
solidifies
means
the
one
learning
thing
process.
only. Look at my face. Right now, something good is about to happen. How to rebuild IT. Say the name once. The moment the dog looks. Party. Treat, touch. Celebration. Every single time for 2 weeks. Do not use the name for anything else. Not to call the dog to you. Not to stop a behavior, not to get attention. The name is a spotlight. It illuminates your face. And when your dog has been conditioned to look at your face every time it hears its name, every command that follows has a listener. Step 0 for the one command rule here is where most training falls apart. The command is given, nothing happens. The command is repeated. Still nothing. The command is said louder, maybe something. And the dog has just learned the most dangerous lesson in training. Commands are suggestions. And suggestions can be ignored. Dr. Ian Dunbar, founder of Serious Dog Training, calls this learned irrelevance. When a word is repeated so many times without consequence that the dog's brain filters it out entirely. The same way humans stop hearing an air conditioning unit after a few minutes. The word becomes auditory wallpaper. The fix, one command. One time, if the dog doesn't respond, you do not repeat. You make the behavior happen, gently, physically, without anger. For sit, you guide the dog into the sit. For down, you guide the dog into the down. Then you reward as if the dog chose it, because you are not punishing the non-response. You are teaching that the command always produces the behavior, whether the dog volunteers it or whether you help it happen. Within days, the dog learns. When that word comes, the behavior follows. Every time, so it might as well choose it first. Step 05, the reward timing window. This is the step that makes or breaks every training
session.
session.
Ask your dog to sit.
Most owners reward too late. They say sit, the dog sits. They reach for the treat. 3 seconds pass. They give the treat. In those 3 seconds, the dog has shifted weight, looked away, started to stand up.
Good.
And the reward landed on the wrong behavior. Dr. BF. Skinner's foundational research
While
on
often
operant
seen as
conditioning
dominance,
established that the
phrase,
reinforcement
"You eat when I say
window,
you
the time
eat,"
between
is
behavior
really
and
about
reward,
impulse control.
must be under 1 second to be neurologically effective. 1 second. After 1 second, the dog's brain is already processing the next moment. The reward arrives as random information, not connected to the behavior you intended to reinforce. The FIX use a marker, a clicker, or a single short word. Yes. The marker bridges the gap between behavior and reward. The moment the dog sits. Yes, not when you've reached the treat. Not when you've said good boy, the instant the behavior happens. Yes, then deliver the treat. The yes becomes a promise. What you just did. That is what I wanted, and a dog that understands exactly what it did to earn the reward learns faster, retains longer, and generalizes better than any dog trained without a marker. Step 06, train in the real world. Here is the gap between a dog that obeys at home and a dog that obeys everywhere. Most training happens in the living room. Quiet, no distractions. Dog already knows what to do. Then the owner goes outside, and it falls apart because the dog hasn't learned the command. It has learned the command in the living room. Dr. Alexandra Horowitz describes this as context specificity. Dogs learn behaviors as part of a whole context. The smell of the room, the floor texture, the owner's posture, the time of day, change the context, and the behavior may not transfer. The fix, train everywhere. Kitchen, garden, street, park, other people's
come on
homes.
up here. Good
Start easy
boy.
in each new location. Build back up from basics. Because a command your dog knows in 10 different places is a command your dog actually knows. 6 steps. Become the most interesting thing in the room. Build voluntary eye contact. Rebuild the name from the ground up. One command, one time, always. Mark the exact moment of success. Train everywhere your dog will ever be. None of these require special equipment. None of these require professional training. None of these require hours of your day. They require something simpler and harder: consistency.
It can be learned. It can be practiced.
The willingness to do the same thing the right way every single time, even when it's inconvenient, even when you're tired, even when it would be easier to just let it go. Because your dog is always learning. Every interaction is a lesson. The question is never whether you are training your dog. The question is only, what are you training it to believe? That commands are optional, or that you are worth listening to. You already know which answer you want. Now you have everything you need to build it. Subscribe to Dog Decoded for a new video every week, because this is just the beginning. Next, we go deeper: the specific commands, the exact sequences, the science behind why some dogs learn in days and others take months, and what the difference actually is. It is not what you think. New video every week. Subscribe and turn on notifications. The science behind the dog you love.